Hello everyone, today I'm going to be talking about the important aspect of communicating with your teen. It's so crucial because, as we know, communication is the lifeline of relationships, and how we communicate matters a great deal. I used to hear my neighbor tell his teenage son, "You're not going to amount to anything. If this is the way you're going to handle things, if you're going to be so responsible, you're not going to amount to anything." How do you think that boy felt? He must have felt terrible that he'll really not achieve anything in his life. If his father, an important figure in his life, has no belief in him, how do you think that son would achieve anything? Probably feels so low about himself. So words are so important. The parent may not mean it, but maybe in a moment of frustration, the parent is saying this. So our words are so important. We have to handle our words very, very carefully. You may have heard of the experiment by a Japanese scientist, Masaru Emoto. He did the water experiment where he put bowls of water and treated them differently. To one, he kept praising, kept saying nice words, and to the other, he kept cursing and scolding and abusing. Do you know what happened? According to him, the crystals formed in the water that was praised, beautiful, beautiful crystals. But in the one that was cursed and blamed and criticized and told it's useless, the crystals were ugly. And he has shared pictures of this experiment. We don't know the validity of this experiment, but it shows somehow that words are so important. The words we use. Sometimes we use words in frustration, in anger, but they leave a lasting impact on somebody. They can destroy somebody. They can build up somebody. So let's use our words so carefully. So communication is something we have to practice. We have to give a lot of importance to. We have to use as a tool to build relationships, build people, especially to build teens who are moving from childhood to adulthood. They need all the support to develop. Two skills we need to know as parents is acknowledging and validating. Acknowledging is repeating back what you have heard. It shows the speaker that you are really paying attention and you're trying to understand better. So if a child comes and tells you something, repeat back to him in maybe your own words to understand him better, to check whether you've got the right understanding. So it's paraphrasing what your child says. Validating is accepting his feelings even if you don't agree with it. So you may say things like, "It's natural to feel confused. It's understandable how you're feeling at this moment." So we are validating a child's feelings. One important skill we need to learn is that of listening, fully involved listening. Not listening to answer, but listening to understand. Listen to what your child is saying. Don't do something while your child is talking. Listen with full attention. Listen to what is not being said. And you can ask open-ended questions to understand better. You know what are open-ended questions? The questions that begin with what, how, what if, tell me about. So those encourage the child to talk. to answer in greater detail, to think before it says something. But the questions that start with can is did will end in yes or no answers, which is not a good way to ask questions. So avoid close-ended questions. Always use the open-ended questions. Are you using the language of acceptance? In every conversation we have, let us use the language of acceptance, which makes our child feel accepted. Let us avoid harmful language, harmful questions, commands in our language. Saying things like, why are you so disorganized? It is not a good question, but it's because it's implying your child is disorganized. So we have to be very cautious what we are saying, what we are asking. Let us give more choices to our children, which are appropriate to the age. Let us use supportive communication that supports our children. Let us also plant seeds of greatness in our children. Because there's greatness hidden in every child. We have to unearth that greatness, and we can do it in the way we talk. For example, your child may come and say, I want to be a scientist. Instead of rubbishing it, you can say, what qualifications and qualities does it need to become a scientist? So you get them thinking, you get them on the path to achievement and greatness. So top tips for communication: stay open and curious. It's always a way to learn more about your child. Avoid harmful questions. Like I said, why are you so confused? Why are you so disorganized? Show trust in your child. Every word you say should show that you trust them. When you are very angry, hit the pause button. It's very possible to say bad things when we're angry. When you're very angry, just hit an imaginary pause button and stay quiet and let the anger pass. Try to do things together to build the bond, to understand one another. Understand that teen lives are complex. That is not how we think. There may be many issues in your child. So if they seem a bit rude or they seem a bit confused, don't get upset. Give them time to process the emotions. Get yourself a support group, other parents to talk to, where you can also share how you feel about certain things. Build self-esteem. In all that we do with your children, build their self-esteem.